Peace and love, guys. I am on fire today. I'm making 2 videos. I actually had my night was very fruitful. It was a very healing night. Um and I actually was able to uh feel spirit doing a lot at my throat chakra. I had people tell me they were very talkative today. But I feel open. I feel not so choked, I guess. My words are just flowing out. But I want to drop some jewels on y'all right now. I want to drop some very, bona fide knowledge for you right now, because I kind of left the last video with, a little, how is that? I was talking about, how spirit is defending you, and how they are fighting on your behalf, and basically, protecting you from the things that dwell in the unseen. And I wanted to kind of give you all an idea of how that environment is, how the environment is when I am able to perceive it. I haven't seen it in a while, solely based on the fact that I asked Spirit. I had a power over Spirit, and I was just kind of like, can you dim that down because it's scary? But I'll kind of describe it. I'll kind of describe it in small, medium, large, I guess, or large, medium, small. First off, I think we should start off with the large, and how my experience has been with spirit removing some of these larger entities. So basically, when I first started my healing, and when the energy awoke, and stuff just started coming through the hairline cracks. There were hairline cracks solely based on the fact that I call them hairline cracks, because this serpent energy, or this energy that is locked within, which I think this is you, you know what I'm saying? It's all you, your consciousness, basically. It starts to just come and work its way out, and it works its way through what it can get through, and then it starts to attack what's on top. And what's on top is initially pretty big. I had various nights of just kind of, first of all, getting the energy just kind of forcing its way out. That itself is just, that took months, just busting this area through for it to get through. And then when it comes out, it just starts going to work. On my other videos, I talked a lot about how spirit has tools. They have tools. I hear these tools. I hear it. It's literally like a construction project going on, and this technology involved. Technology that, of course, I'm not really able to understand, but they use some type of tools. And when I reference, of course, Egyptian art, you see these weird devices that the gods that the Egyptians depicted on tombs and whatnot. They had various type of things in their hands all the time. We say those are symbols and all these things. Just based on my experience, I think these things, some of them were tools, and that's how tools work. They have some type of magical, mystical element with them. I have seen the tool, one of the first ones that I saw. I've seen the one that kind of, it's like a stick. It's like a stick, and it has the head, and then at the bottom it has like a U shape. I forget what you call a scepter of some sort. I've actually seen a being with this scepter just standing by, and I also seen the scepter just stand alone by itself. I seen it I seen the head go up and just spin. I've seen that before. I actually seen a scepter. It was, I don't know, this is what I've seen before. So these tools that they are using, I also seen, oh God, I forget what it's called, but it's kind of like a U shape. I seen a smaller, kind of like a baby little, it was the size of like a baby in my perception, but it was like an old looking lady. When I saw her, she just looked so cute. But she had it, I remember she was working on my back. Look at one of my videos, I mentioned this. She was just at my back. she didn't scare me because she just looked so wise and cute, you know. So when I saw, like, when I was a lot of activity going on my back, I turned around and I kind of saw her in my mind's eye. But it's literally like some whole construction thing going on. So at the beginning, you can like at the beginning stages of my healing and some of my earlier videos, I talked about actually seeing entities, like various things, and these are the things that I saw because, like I said, they were bigger, and they don't look nice, and at times they don't look, um it could be, I don't really know good guy bad guy, but just based on what I feel, some of them I see that look really weird, that don't look like us, but I don't get a bad vibe, you know what I'm saying, when I see them. And then sometimes I see ones that do kind of look kind of human, that you think, oh, they're, it's not a demon, but I get a bad vibe. So it really just depends on how I feel, literally. It's like everything that we talk, it's actually, it happens in the spirit world, like the vibe and the way you feel. Anyway, so the bigger things and things that you actually, it looks like something, I guess you could say it looks like something, are the things that come off first. So these are the experience initially. Those are what I would consider large. Medium, then I got a feeling of like almost kind of reptilian, snaky things with a bunch of limbs, that are just sitting on you, that spirit just starts to pull off. And that was just a whole bout. It just seemed like things that just always kind of come back when, I always felt, like a tug of war going on. What I was able to perceive when I would tune in, and these are the things, that were just getting pulled. I mentioned about the pulling in other videos. Um, Now let's talk about the smaller things. Once these things starts to come off, the more it comes off, the more I'm able to perceive more. And it's when I really start to see things, especially waking up in the morning. I would see things a lot. And I would start to see spirit itself more. I started to see very angelic beings at times. At one time, I seen a being that, it was kind of naked. I kind of mentioned this in another video, and I remember he was just very handsome, like cartoony looking, kind of green, like green looking, and I remember, like, when I was able to perceive him, he knew that I was able to perceive him, and he kind of jumped up and threw his legs up, and then, like, I was able to see like a penis, and the penis had a face, and it made like a funny, like, kind of face. I was like, okay, go back to my other videos. This is not lying. And I've also seen very beautiful women as well, just very cartoony like. So I see all of these things. I've seen all of these things when stuff really started to come off. Um, and then once it get to like the smaller things, I started to feel, like these little stringy, um, let's say semi-small, before even small. So semi-small is like these, snaky like little things that are just embedded in you, and spirit just starts to just go ham, and it's like bajillions of them. It seems like they're just everywhere, and within those are like little smaller, uh little ones, like this size, and I'm just, just based off your perception, like this size, and you got little small ones that are kind of down within in between those. So it's very interesting just getting all of these things pulled off. And all the while this is going on, these things, when they come off, they make a certain noise. They kind of fly out, especially the small ones. They just kind of shoot off into the abyss. I'm talking so much. You see what I'm talking about? And I've been sitting, and chilling, and mostly it happened when I'm just alone in my car. Spirit doesn't want, just going on. I'm in the house with other people around. And I could hear these sounds of these things coming off. It typically sounds like a motorcycle, a train horn, and like a sound of something revving out of the blue, and I could hear it. It's loud, And you can imagine if somebody else is, around, they'll just think, oh, it's a car going down the street or something. But I would know based on the timing of how it felt coming off, and then the immediate sound afterwards. I know what it is, you know what I'm saying? And it took me, I didn't believe it at first. But, after a while, I'm like, okay, that's definitely me. So, and as far as the fighting that goes on your behalf and the protection, and I got so much I want to say. Oh my God, I just feel like I can get it out. So while this is going on, this stuff is flying out. It seemed to be like this. It's like a field of energy, but this energy is like they're beings. And let me tell you how they look. They're small, they're winged, and they have like stripes on them, and they spin. And I would see it's like a system. Like, I would see why they're needed, because like I said, they have these little ones, and even these snaky like things that embed into you. They're just swatting these things like all around me all day. I sense this spinning and all this stuff going on. And that just that's what covers my, that's literally your Merkaba, your electromagnetic field. There's just a shrew of these, I call them bee beings. They're just super small. And let me tell you, and I wanted to touch base on this because it was very interesting to me. I have seen instances where I see things out there that would be eating these beings. And I thought that was very interesting because it made me think about the whole concept in itself of sacrifice. Right? Even the Bible mentions sacrifice. And throughout history, there was always this notion of like sacrifice. So from what I would think maybe that's where the whole idea of sacrifice becomes, because I know that these beings are fighting on my behalf, but they're also under attack as well. And I've seen, it's not like I don't see it doesn't look like gory and like blood. It almost looked kind of cartoonish, like I seen like this being that it was, and the being itself was kind of wing looking. He looked kind of like, didn't look very evil, but I didn't kind of get any feeling from it. But I've seen him just kind of like, it's almost like, oop, I just ate one. Boop. It was just like the beings that I see that eat the bee people. I don't know. Look, and you go back and you look at Egyptian art, and you see evidence of bees all over their temples and things like that. That whole notion of bees, and even the whole notion of these what do you call them? The lotus. I think there is the lotus. I think the lotus is definitely an indication of, a flower. When you, like, definitely this whole process, I feel like I'm just, it's layers to it, because I just described all these layers. It's, large, medium, semi-small, and small. It's layers of this stuff. So in a way, it relates to that too. But I think there are instances when you look at Egyptian art where the archaeologists, or these people who kind of tell us what these paintings mean, or try to give us an idea of what they are, they'll say, oh, they're holding a lotus flower. I don't think, because sometimes you look at it and they have a long string, and then they look pointy at the end. It looks like it could be a lotus, but in essence, I think that that the ones that are like skinny and cylinder and had the pinky, I think not the pinky, but the pointy tops, I think that was an indication of the things that attach to us, which not necessarily is a bad thing. I believe that these things are attached to us because they are based on they give us our experience. I believe that's why we saw them. We saw Egyptians like almost as if they adoring them. They just kind of lollygagged with them. They were on their head. It just seemed like they were just everywhere. I think that, oh my God, I'm busting jewels right now. I don't think this video is going to be too long, but I want to pick up. I left off at the bee people and the fact that they get eaten and the whole concept of sacrifice. I'm going to be back, y'all. I'm dropping jewels today.